Hey everybody, it's Mr. Francis. I'm doing this video. This is going to be our video to show you and highlight the Hayden-McNeil lab simulation site, so you know what you're working with, what you're going to see with this. Now you see I've got a few tabs open. I'm going to be going through each one of them. So we are going to log into our Canvas page. Again, this is obviously we've got the home, you've got the modules. As you go down here, and yes, I do know this is my 125 class. You will see within each module, you will see this aspect of the lab assignments. Pay attention to the lab section that you're signing up for. In this case, CHE125. For those of you in the College Chemistry 1 course, you're going to be looking for this section. For those of you in the Introduction to Chemistry course, the CHE105, you're going to see a slightly different section, but you're going to look for it. Okay, so as we go through here, and you'll see the labs, as you click on, in this case, the module lab, you're going to see this where it says loading that module. That's going to load up in a new window. Okay, this is not where here's where I wanted to go. When you click on that the first time, you're going to come to this page. You're going to create an account. Let me log out real quick of my page here and try this again. So you're going to have this page, this new account. What I suggest for your username and password is to use the same username and password that you are using for your login to Canvas, or at least use something that you're very familiar with and that you can fill out. With the details, again, your email address, I recommend using your Allen email, but if you've also got a personal email that you're sending send your Allen email to, you can use that also. When you create your new account, the very next page is going to ask you for an access code. When you get that access code, you're going to receive an email from me on Tuesday, June 8th. That email will have an access code for you. Do not purchase an access code through the Hayden-McNeil site. One is being provided for you through the college. Okay, so I'm going to go back real quick here because, like I said, I'm actually logged in for this. Once you create that account and everything in, as you go to existing user, I want to show you this page real quick. You'll have a page that says choose an institution. We're obviously Allen Community College. Make sure it is Allen Community College. And when you click on that school, you're going to see a number of classes here, and you're going to see a number of lab sections, not only for chemistry but also for biology. I want to make you guys pay attention. Look for one of these two sections depending on what class you're enrolled in. Again, if you're in the Introduction to Chemistry class, CHE105, this is the section that you're going to enroll in. If you're in 125, here is the section that you're going to enroll in. Okay. Let me go back here, and I'm going to go to the 125 course here. I'm going to make a quick change so that you get a view of what you're going to see as a student. Your page is going to look like this once you get it, once you've gone on here. And first thing that you'll do is you'll select the Introduction to Lab Simulations. This is a great first lab. This is going to highlight what the simulation actually looks like, what you're going to be performing, lab equipment and everything. As you'll see, it's actually going to be very similar to if this was a hands-on laboratory. The only difference, your hands are on your computer versus on the actual glassware. Okay, so read through the introduction, the personal protective equipment, the virtual lab space to get all of that. There should be a picture here. It's going to be of an Erlenmeyer flask, I believe. But one of the things I also want you to note, hey, you've got the experiment. So one of the things you may do here is you may open this up in another tab to take you to the simulation. That way, if you open it up in a separate tab, you can actually go back and forth between each one. Okay, so here is the lab simulation site as we start the lab. The very first thing you're going to do every single time is click on all three of these personal protective equipment, just as you would in a normal lab. And here's our lab. Here's what we're going to see. On your shelf here, you have your materials, and sometimes you'll scroll through them. You've got your containers, and you have the instruments. So the reason I said, hey, kind of set up in a second tab, now here's your procedure. Follow this procedure just as you would in terms of grabbing the equipment, putting everything in. Write down your numbers, write down your information. So again, you will see, as they talk about here, we'll just start here. Click and drag a 150 milliliter Erlenmeyer flask. So we're going to go over here. We'll find there's a 250, there's a 150. And when they say drag, that's what they talk about. Drag it down to the table itself. Now we want to find the 6 molar HCl. And we'll go up here. And we're just going to scroll through these materials until we find it. We'll look for bottles here. Now they say the 6 molar, which is what we have here. And you'll put it directly above or directly on the flask itself, and you'll get this dialog box. Okay, so the procedure says we need to add 50 milliliters. Make sure you write down on a piece of paper, hey, this is how much HCl I have added to this. Okay. And you can see, hey, when the two containers are close and interact, you're going to see that in there. We've got some instruments that we're going to use. So they say take a thermometer. So we'll go back up here. We're going to look for our thermometer. There's our thermometer. We'll drag it down again right on the solution itself, on the Erlenmeyer flask, and we're going to record the temperature. And you can see record the temperature because, again, you're going to use it in the post-lab experiment. Very next thing, now we're going to look for the 1 molar sodium hydroxide. Again, a solution. And there's our sodium hydroxide. We'll put this on the flask. And again, look what it says. Hey, we're going to enter 50 milliliters, but also look what we said. We're going to see a change in temperature. So take note of the temperature as you're going through here. We'll add the 50 there. And you saw that change in temperature. It went up to 26.7. Record that temperature. Okay, again, because they're telling you in the procedure, they're telling you what you need to record in terms of your data, in terms of your information. Okay. And again, when you want to clear things off, look at the directions for clearing off the workbench. So the thermometer, we can return to the table. The Erlenmeyer flask, we'll actually put in, we got to dispose of the waste first. Put that in the waste. And then once that's done, then we can put the flask in the sink itself. Okay. So again, much like any scientific lab that you've done in past, follow the procedure. Write down the information that you see, because that's going to come in to play later. Okay. If we go back to, now we go back to our table. So once we complete the lab, you've got two things that you're going to complete. You're going to complete a short answer section. You're going to complete a multiple choice section. And the multiple choice section is going to be based on, each of these are going to be based on your data and the results that you get. Some of the questions will ask you to draw a graph, put together a graph. If you have Excel, Google Sheets, you can use those to create your graph. Some of it you're going to be filling in tables. Some you're going to be doing calculations with that. But you'll complete both sections. You will complete both the short answer and the multiple choice section. And then I'll come back in here and I'll actually grade those for you and then transfer those grades into the grade book. So this is our lab. This is our Hayden-McNeil lab simulations. This is what we're going to be doing. Again, on June 8th, on Tuesday, look for an email from me that contains your access code that will help you put together that will help you complete the account. And again, with the courses, make sure you look for the correct course. And again, for what we're doing, it's going to depend. Some of you are in the CHE105, that's the Introduction to Chemistry course. Some of you are in CHE125, that's the College Chemistry 1 course. If you have any questions about this, please give me a call. We'll walk you through that and we'll put everything together. With that, good night and take care. I'll talk to you soon.